This video will aim to be a short yet comprehensive guide to Rogue Squadron for players looking to improve their game or start speedrunning. I will go through ship and weapon stats and brief level guides while including current speedrunning strategies, tricks and tips. In many parts of the video I go over things quickly, so pause and replay whenever you need. At speedrun.com/rogue1 more guides can be found. Also, looking at recordings on the leaderboards will be useful when learning levels. Rogue Squadron is a classic Star Wars game released in 1998 on Nintendo 64 and PC. It's currently available on various online stores. The main game is set between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, where you play Luke Skywalker as leader of Rogue Squadron. The plot has you picking up some Imperial defectors who help you attack various Imperial locations before Wedge is captured and then rescued. Rogue Squadron then attacks and defends against Moff Seerdon and his forces before a final showdown. The game has various ships with differing speed, maneuverability, HP, laser DPS, Autoaim, secondary weapons and specials. Each level has a default ship with more ships unlockable as you complete more levels, and all ships unlocked for all levels when you get all gold medals. Collecting bonuses unlocks shield and weapon upgrades for the ships. Pause here to see the default console controls. For PC, most players in the speedrunning community prefer a controller setup similar to console. Alternatively, you can play with a keyboard and/or mouse. One important difference is that joysticks on PC seem to turn more slowly than console. This seems to be because on PC, when the joystick is 45 degrees down and left or right, the game does not register the input as 100% down and 100% turning like it would on console. A workaround seems to be to map the keyboard down key to a controller button, then, while turning the joystick 100% left or right, press the mapped down key for an extra sharp turn. The Advanced Shields upgrade is common to all ships. With it, you start with a blue shield that negates the first hit no matter the damage, except seemingly a head-on crash. This table shows the damage of the different weapons. Notice that laser damage is the same between craft, but rate of fire differs. Also notice that Seeker torpedoes do more damage when locked, while Seeker missiles do more damage when fired without the lock, by double tapping the button. I'll post a more detailed damage guide video in the future. The X-Wing is the default ship for most levels. A mostly well-rounded ship, it has poor braking, poor normal thrust, but good thrust when using the special, average maneuverability, it has average HP and can repair, average laser DPS, moderate auto-aim in cockpit views, slight auto-aim in other views. The secondary weapon is 6 torpedoes, which do high damage, and for its special, it closes its wings to gain a speed boost, but cannot fire, though note you can shoot during the animation. The A-Wing has poor braking, but is fast and maneuverable. It has low HP and can't repair. The lasers have average DPS and, in all views, has high auto-aim in the vertical but not the horizontal plane, which makes it somewhat difficult to aim. Its secondary weapon is missiles, which are basically just weaker torpedoes, and it has no special. The Speeder has good braking but poor thrust, average maneuverability with the help of left and right air brakes, average HP and can't repair. It has good laser DPS with good auto-aim in cockpit view and slight auto-aim in other views. It lacks a secondary weapon. Its special is a tow cable used to trip AT-ATs. Its repulsor lift engines limit the altitude and prevent rolls or flips. The Y-Wing has good braking but low thrust and maneuverability. It has high HP and can repair. Its lasers have low DPS and no auto-aim, but this is somewhat made up for by the secondary weapon of ion cannons, which can be spammed to add damage, can be charged by holding down the button, and has high auto-aim in any view. Its special is 20 bombs, which can one-hit most buildings. The V-Wing has poor braking, average normal thrust, but good short-term thrust when using its special boost, good maneuverability and average HP, but cannot heal. Lasers can be set to have extremely high DPS, but they will burn out and require a cooldown if held too long. Auto-aim is moderate in cockpit view and slight otherwise. Its secondary weapon is 6 cluster missiles, which are great for clearing groups of TIEs quickly. Its special gives a speed boost, followed by a cooldown, though continuous normal thrust is the same speed as the boost plus cooldown. It has repulsor lift engines, which limit its altitude, rolls, and flips. The V-Wing's excellent weapons, boost, and maneuverability make it the best ship in the game for many levels. The Millennium Falcon unlocks after getting bronze on all bonus levels or with a cheat code. It has poor braking, good thrust, poor maneuverability, excellent HP, and can heal. It has excellent laser DPS with the most auto-aim no matter which camera view. Its secondary is 15 torpedoes, and it has no special. It's my 4-year-old son's favourite ship because the weapons and HP make it easy to play. The TIE Interceptor unlocks after getting silver on all bonus levels or with the cheat code, and is selected by going behind the Millennium Falcon. It has poor braking, average thrust, good maneuverability, very low HP, no healing. Average laser DPS with moderate auto-aim in cockpit view and slight auto-aim otherwise, no secondaries, no specials. The Naboo Starfighter can be unlocked by entering 2 cheat codes. It has excellent braking, thrust and maneuverability, average HP and can heal. It has average laser rate of fire with moderate auto-aim in cockpit view and slight auto-aim otherwise. Secondary is 10 torpedoes and no special. Its speed and maneuverability make it the best ship in the game for many levels. The T-16 Skyhopper is only available for the Beggars Canyon race level. It has high thrust and maneuverability. Auto-aim generally differs depending on the camera view. For most ships, auto-aim is highest in cockpit view, slight in standard view, and lowest in close outside view, which looks different on console versus PC. In some situations, auto-aim is helpful, but other times it won't lead shots perfectly, or it will aim at the wrong target. Different views can also help when aiming. Cockpit view and close outside view align the crosshairs more accurately for distant targets, while standard view effectively gives a wider field of view, helping to line up targets while turning. Also, the laser spread is usually wider in cockpit view and narrower in other views. There is often no best camera view, and it mostly comes down to personal preference, but when speedrunning a level, consider that different camera views might be better for different sections. In ambush at Mos Eisley, first you search and destroy probe droids, and if you're going for gold medal, you also need to kill the 4 stormtroopers for the kill count. Once the last probe droid is dead, it will trigger TIE bombers spawning at Mos Eisley, which you kill to finish the level. As a general tip, if you're ever lost, follow your radar. For speedrunning, if you kill this probe droid last, from this side, you'll get a favourable spawn manipulation nearer to the TIE bombers. Also for V-Wing, with careful timing, you can shoot missiles just before the cutscene, and if you're in range, you can take out the TIEs during the cutscene. In Rendezvous on Barkhesh, you're escorting transports. There's no real right or wrong way to do this level, just make sure you're in position when the TIE bombers spawn. For gold, you need to save all the transports and get a decent kill count. For speedrunning, this level is an auto-scroller. No one's figured out a way to go faster than a 519 when the transports reach the end, so have a quick drink or a toilet break. In the search for the Nonnah, you will find the Nonnah, then protect its crew while they're being rescued. At the beginning of the level, you can get some quick kills from probe droids and TIEs. The Nonnah spawns randomly in one of 3 locations, some of which are faster than others. Position yourself to shoot the AT-ST and tanks, which spawn as the enemy shuttle is landing. Killing them triggers TIE bombers to spawn in 4 waves of 2. If you position and aim carefully, you can kill them quickly, triggering the friendly shuttle to take off. Kill some more TIEs, or if you need to increase your accuracy, shoot the enemy shuttle before the mission ends. No real speedrunning tricks, just carefully position yourself to kill the AT-ST and tanks, and then the TIE bombers to get the fast triggers. In Defection at Corellia, you protect the city and the Imperial defector Crix Maydeen as he's being rescued. The level is all about killing groups of enemies to trigger the next group of enemies, and so on. For speedrunning, if you leave the rightmost probe droid, then fly towards the next city. With careful positioning, your wingman will kill the last probe droid, and you will spawn at the next location. Then, notice you can leave the group of 3 TIE bombers, kill the rest to trigger the cutscene. Then kill the next 4 TIE bombers. Although it's difficult, it's possible to kill them from range, quickly turn around, and get close to the city for a favourable respawn manipulation. Then trip the first and then second AT-STs. You can see my guide video here for fast tripping. If you have advanced lasers, it's faster to shoot their heads. Then clean up the AT-STs and TIEs to protect the shuttle, and for gold medal, get the bonus advanced proton torpedoes and some extra kills while waiting for the mission to end. In Liberation of Gerrard V, you escort the Y-Wings of Gold Squadron while they disable the yacht ships. First, kill the missile turrets and other enemies in the area. Then do the same in the next area. For gold medal, you will need to save all 6 wingmen and get a decent enemy kill count. For speedrunning, there's a bit of randomness for how quickly Gold Squadron disables the yachts. If you play as a Y-Wing, you can iron cannon the yachts to kill them quicker. Note, you can ignore these 4 yachts, and for any percent, you can also ignore this yacht, and go straight for the last one. In the Jade Moon, you attack an Imperial base. You must first destroy the shield generator and then kill the TIEs to end the mission. For gold medal, you will also need to collect the bonus advanced shields and destroy most enemies on the map for your kill count. For speedrunning, it's about choosing a fast route and learning the paths of the TIEs at the end. In Imperial construction yards, you destroy radars and then surprise attack Imperial AT-AT and AT-ST factories. For speedrunning, you can save significant time by clipping through the canyon walls, which are easier to do with high shields and low FPS. So, on PC, you will usually need blue shields, while console can still clip with green shields and rarely with orange shields. For any percent, you can clip to the 3 AT-AT factory buildings and then clip again to the AT-ST factory. For gold, you must collect the bonus advanced bombs and get a significant kill count while maintaining high accuracy. If you miss any radars, your wingmen will kill them, so long as you're relatively close to them. Have a look at my guide video on this level for more info. In Assault on Kile 2, you attack an Imperial base where you must kill all buildings in the spaceport, the barracks and the radars. For speedrunning, you can again clip through the canyon walls, or, with the Y-Wing, you can do a Lumi skip, which happens when you die mid-flight and you get boosted into the distance. The Y-Wing can do this consistently with splash damage from its own bombs, but the angles and positioning are still very hard. The speed of a LuMi is FPS dependent, so console needs to first do a clip to make sure the first LuMi works. Also, if you kill the barracks but leave one turret, then kill the radar, then kill that last turret, you'll skip a lengthy cutscene. For gold medal, you need a higher kill count, which is easiest to get by killing the stormtroopers that spawn in these 3 buildings while maintaining good accuracy. In Rescue on Kessel, you rescue Wedge, who was captured in the last mission, by disabling the train before it gets to the prison. For speedrunning, you can go straight to the train to disable it, but for gold medal, you must kill every enemy first. If you have the voice volume turned down to 0, you will skip a 5 to 10 second dialogue at the end of the level. The same trick also saves a little time on some other levels. However, if you leave the voice volume up, it's possible to kill the train carriages after it's disabled to get some extra kill counts. In Prisons of Kessel, you protect the shuttle rescuing prisoners. You destroy certain enemies to trigger each rescue while protecting the shuttle. For speedrunning, focus on getting these triggers as quickly as possible. For gold medal, you must also get the bonus Seeker missiles and get a reasonably high kill count. First, kill the shield raider. The fastest way there is to LuMi off this hill, but it's extremely inconsistent. Then, quickly back to kill these 3 tires for the trigger, clear out the rest of the enemies while you wait. Then, on to the next area, get the bonus Seeker missiles and kill either of the ATSTs for the next trigger and kill the remaining enemies. Notice, if you leave the bunkers till after a rescue has started, stormtroopers will spawn for extra kills. Then, go ahead to the next area. Get some more kills and wait here for 3 ties to spawn. Kill them for the next trigger and kill more enemies while you wait. Then go back to the same spot for another 3 ties to spawn and kill them for the last trigger. While waiting for the mission's end, get more kills or shoot tie hangars or prisons for more accuracy. In Battle above Taloraan, you attack the Imperial gas containers while avoiding civilian targets. The game will often crash at the beginning of the level on PC. It's worse if you're spamming buttons, so try to only click once to skip the cutscenes, then click and hold for the last cutscene. For speedrunning, quickly kill the Imperial containers in each area. For gold medal, also kill turrets and tires along the way for the kill count, and get the bonus advanced lasers. Any % runners can time getting shot by turrets in the second last area to LuMi to the last area. The accuracy requirement is very hard for gold runs, especially with the tricky auto-aim on the A-Wing. I have more information in my accuracy guide video, but as a quick summary, basically any red, green or blue dot on the radar is a valid target to increase accuracy. On this level, you mainly want to spam shots into the platforms and into the city at the end. The game can also crash at the end of this level. I find that by holding down the fire button at the end of the game, it tends to crash less. In Escape from Fest, you must protect some stolen AT-PTs while they slowly walk to the transport and you destroy the Imperial base. For gold medal, you must also collect the bonus Seeker torpedoes and all 3 AT-PTs must survive. This map has a reputation among casual players for being difficult, but it's quite easy once you figure out a good route. For speedrunning, the level is an auto-scroller, with 5:28 being the fastest possible time. Play it safe and destroy the AT-ATs, the tanks, and the bombers. Then you have plenty of time to destroy the base, get the bonus Seeker torpedoes, get kills, and get a drink. In Blockade on Chandrilla, you escort a supply train and then protect the city from Imperials. For gold medal, you must collect the bonus advanced bombs and save all 5 train carriages and all 3 shuttles. First, stay near the train and kill the bombers. You don't need to kill all the TIE fighters, but you can while you wait. After the second last wave of bombers that come from high above, for speedrunning, if you time it right, you can fly ahead to the next area and get some shots off to the TIE bombers that spawn over the city before the cutscene. This is especially good for the V-Wings Cluster Seeker missiles. After killing the 3 TIE bombers over the city, kill the 6 ATSTs, then you can get the bonus advanced bombs at the other side of the city. Crashing here will spawn you closer to the shuttles. Now it's very difficult but possible to shoot one of the last TIE bombers the instant they spawn before the next cutscene. To do this, shoot the lasers just before they've spawned, and if one of them basically spawns inside your lasers, it will die. Kill the remaining 3 TIE bombers to end the level. In Raid on Sullust, you attack an Imperial base by first destroying the transmitters to disable the shield, and then kill the white capacitor cylinders. For speedrunning, you will need to learn a fast route to take out the transmitters and avoid missiles. Most ships fly from one transmitter to the next using lasers and secondary weapons, but the best strategy with the Y-Wing seems to be to fly to the ceiling of the level and bomb from high above. For gold medal, you need to collect the bonus Seeker torpedoes and you need to be careful with accuracy, so you can shoot the TIE hangar, the legs of the ATSTs and the capacitor structure to improve accuracy. For some vehicles, it's faster to take this transmitter while passing through. For others, it's better to circle back to it last because of a favourable respawn manipulation. When the shields go down, shoot the white cylinders at the capacitor. A 1 cycle is difficult but possible. The capacitor also has annoying invisible walls that block shots when not shooting straight on, so try to shoot cylinders straight on or at their outer edges. In Moff Seerdon's Revenge, you protect the rebel Bacta tanks while searching and destroying all Imperial forces and finally fighting Moff Seerdon. To explain speedrunning strategies, I'll group the enemies into different categories. Firstly, the buildings and turrets, which are a consistent part of the level, the ATSTs, which you may need to tank shots from to protect the Bacta tanks, the 5 TIE bombers flying in predictable circuits. There are 4 TIE interceptors that will seek and chase you. They spawn one at a time. After you kill one, another will spawn. You can get pretty consistent at predicting their movement. They're easiest to kill head-on or during their spawn. The first one spawns after you kill this missile turret. Lastly, there are several TIE interceptors on circuits. Some will get shot down by your wingmen, but this is partly RNG based, which is what makes this level quite unpredictable. So the level is an unusual mix of enemies being in predictable spots and less predictable TIE behaviour, so you might have to get creative, straying from the route to chase down some TIEs and then getting back to the predictable route. For gold medal, you will need to collect the bonus cluster seeker missiles, have decent accuracy, and importantly, you can only let 4 Bacta tanks die, which can be very difficult. Before killing the last enemy, you might want to crash to respawn secondary weapons. Moff takes 3 locked seeker torpedoes or 4 seeker cluster missiles to kill. There is a glitch on PC known as the crosshair glitch. Notice the crosshairs turn into a yellow diamond when locking onto a target for seeker weapons. If your crosshairs are in this yellow state when the level ends, they disappear on subsequent levels and you can't use the seeker weapons until you restart the game. So ensure that your crosshairs are in the green circle state as the level ends. Battle of Calamari is set several years after Return of the Jedi. You play Wedge, who is now leader of Rogue Squadron. You kill TIEs and World Devastators to protect the Mon Calamari cities. Start by flying to and killing the first World Devastator. Then fly to the city. It's easiest to kill the TIE droids with Seeker secondary weapons. Then fly to and kill the second Devastator. Then kill the TIEs in the second city. It's difficult but possible to Lumi off the roaming TIE to get near the last city. Otherwise, ditch into this mountain for a favourable spawn and to reset your secondary weapons. The last city spawns 10 TIEs, but only up to 5 at a time, so you can kill 4 or 5, then kill the last World Devastator, and fly back to finish off the TIEs. For gold medal, you can only let 5 buildings die, so be careful when killing TIEs. Beggar's Canyon is the first bonus mission, which unlocks if you get a bronze medal or better in all non-bonus missions. You race your wingmen in T-16s. Beating Wedge gives the gold medal. Usually if you fly too high you will fail the mission for cheating, but if you spend less than about 3 seconds above the limit and fly back lower, you will get the cheating dialogue, but you won't fail. For speedrunning, this makes it possible in a few places to hop the canyon to skip much of the race, with this route seemingly the fastest. Also, since the corners are wider at the top of the canyons, flying as high as possible, just under the altitude limit, is faster because you can essentially cut corners, but it is riskier. The Death Star Trench Run is the second bonus level, which unlocks after getting silver medals or better in all non-bonus missions. You play the Battle of Yavin and destroy the Death Star. For speedrunning, there is one known skip, where if you Lumi by getting shot by or crashing off TIE fighters after the second corner, you can Lumi past the cutscene trigger and skip the Han cutscene. Otherwise, the any % route just ignores all enemies. For gold medal, try to be efficient and accurate with kills and maximize the time spent boosting. The Battle of Hoth is the third bonus level, which unlocks after getting gold medals in all non-bonus missions. You play the Battle of Hoth, killing Imperial forces to buy the rebels time to escape. There are 3 strategies for the first 2 areas. The teamwork skip kills all probe droids, puts 9 shots into the first ATST, kills the other 2, and positions near the next area. Your teammate will kill the remaining ATST, and you can quickly kill the next ATST before the cutscene. This strategy is good for high accuracy on gold medal runs. The conventional clear of just killing all enemies can be slightly quicker if done perfectly, but it is riskier for accuracy. The lambda skip strategy is the fastest for any %, but is extremely difficult, where you leave this probe droid, position yourself in the next area, and as your wingmen kill the last probe droid, you have just enough time to kill the 3 ATSTs. After clearing the Lambda sector, you will need to kill the AT-ATs, AT-STs, and, for gold medal, also the Stormtroopers in the last area. For the second last AT-AT, if you change camera views while the AT-AT begins tripping, you will skip the cutscene and can fly to the last AT-AT to get a better spawn. I have a guide video with more info on this level. I hope this guide was useful. Comment on the video if there was anything I missed, and check out the speedrun.com website for more guides. Good luck.